They say if you hear the sound of a girl crying at exactly 12 a.m. in Ajegunle, you'll never sleep the same again. I was walking home from work, the streets of Ajegunle almost empty. The moon hid behind thick clouds, and the faint flicker of a broken street lamp barely lit the puddles of rainwater. Every corner seemed darker than the last. But then I heard it, a soft, high-pitched wail coming from the alleyway next to the old, abandoned church.
I paused. My heart thumped against my chest like a drum in a festival. No one goes near that church after sunset. They say it's cursed. But curiosity is a strong thing. I stepped closer, and the crying stopped instantly. Silence swallowed the alley. Then I felt a cold breeze on the back of my neck, though the night was still. And that's when I saw her, standing under the flickering street lamp, a girl no older than 10, but her eyes, they were black as the midnight sky. I called out, "Are you lost, baby?" But no sound came from her lips, only a faint giggle that echoed unnaturally, bouncing off the walls of the narrow alley. I wanted to run, but my legs, they wouldn't move. It's like the darkness had chains wrapped around my ankles. Suddenly, the girl tilted her head and whispered in a voice that sounded like a dozen voices at once, "Follow me if you want to see the truth." Against my better judgment, I stepped forward. Every step made the alley seem longer than it was. Shadows danced on the walls like they were alive. Then I noticed the ground. It was covered in tiny footprints, but none of them belonged to the girl. I reached the end of the alley and froze. The church door creaked open by itself. Inside, the air smelled of burnt incense and something metallic. The crying had stopped, but now I could hear chanting, low, guttural voices calling my name. I wanted to turn back, but the girl's hand appeared in front of me. She wasn't walking, floating just above the ground. Her eyes locked onto mine, and I felt drawn. Then I saw it. Dozens of figures in black robes circling a fire, their faces hidden, but I knew they were waiting for me. Before I could scream, the chanting stopped. The girl pointed at me, and suddenly I was surrounded by shadows that moved like liquid. They whispered secrets of the dead. Secrets no living person should ever hear. Secrets that made my blood run ice cold. I stumbled backward, and one of the robed figures stepped forward. Its eyes glowed red. "You shouldn't have come here," it hissed, and everything went black. I woke up the next morning on the same street, drenched in sweat, heart racing. The alley was empty, the church boarded up, and no footprints anywhere. But when I looked down at my hand, I was holding a small, black doll, its eyes just like hers. I've never spoken about it until now. And tonight, I heard the crying again, somewhere in Ajegunle, waiting for the next curious soul.